darlings, just me. Happy Sunday fun day. I had a craft night with my friend Juss today. Yes, Jess and Juss. And my first project didn't go out very well. My second project, however, I put a lot of thought in and said, what do I need? And I realized that while I love my basic casting cloth that I made and my casting cloth that I use normally for my clients at Pazooks, which I will of course put that link below in case you're curious of my divination practices. Anywho, I realized that while I love the one I made and I loved the cloth I purchased, I have such a volume of either crystals that I cast or bones that I cast for osteomancy that I was like, ugh, so many of them play hide and seek with me because they go beyond the borderlands, beyond the pride lands, and they ask Mufasa what is theirs. So I was like, oh, I need something with borders. So I got inventive, and I'm gonna walk you through how I made my own casting cloth. It's more of a casting mat. I'm gonna call it a casting mat. So let's roll the clips and the voiceover.
So the first thing I acquired was a painting canvas, and I turn it over, of course, and it creates those borders so that my crystals and my bones don't jump out of the ring. I then painted the background, the inside, and I did it black. A little tip, adding water to the paint actually helps get into those little grooves since it's the opposite side of the canvas that would typically be painted, and that really helped. And then we moved on to painting where the staples and where like everything is kind of held together on the back. Give that extra attention. I made sure to put a good layer of paint where the staples are and the grooves where the canvas meets the wood. And you'll even notice those little divots. If your brush is skinny enough, just take a good glob of paint and get into that crevice because you will notice it and it will bother you. I went ahead and I just added a good glob of paint and made sure to go back and forth a couple times, and then I didn't even notice it. Then I took some pretty like glitters and like adhesive to make sure it doesn't flake, and I mixed it together. It looks really gray, but I promise it just added texture to where there were so many grooves, and then once it starts to dry it just gets super glittery. I then started adding my symbols that I use for casting. I invented these on my own, obviously be like super creative with it. Then I started adding just little tiny patterns where I noticed that the black kind of was skimping. I added a bit more. You can see the wet spots on the canvas where I put more black, and then I just started putting glitter in different areas, and it would dry down better, and I really liked it. After that, I let it dry, and it was complete. It came out super glittery when it all kind of like adhered and dried, and I really love it. I thought it came out really nice.
So that's basically how I went about making this precious. The only thing I want to change is the back side because it's going to get dirty and it's going to be placed downward anyway. I think eventually I want to get a cloth and adhere it to the back and around the sides just to give it a little bit more flair, a little more taste. Nonetheless, I do love it even as it is. I basically took the things that I loved off the casting mats that I use and the symbols that I typically try to do and things I try to cover divination-wise and categories, topics, blah blah blah. But I went ahead and then I kind of listed ones I liked, and then I kind of inventively and creatively like put together my own ideals of what the symbols for that would be, and I chose 9 and I just went with it, and to each their own. And I think that this is a fun project. I think it's super easy. It was super cheap, and yeah, I just hope that you guys liked this video, and I will talk to you guys later. Just saying, bye.